Hey guys, my name is Shanjai and today we're going to be creating this login form using HTML and CSS. I'm using a design from a website called uidesigndaily, so feel free to go there and download anything you do want. And as you guys can see, we do have the color palette. You could download the file that I do have. And yeah guys, let's just get into the video. I'll have all the project files linked in the description. So I have a assets folder and I have a images folder which contains all the images that we need, and index.html and style.css. Let me open this up with live server. So if like it's an actual extension that you could use to get live preview of your application. So now let's create the divs and all those stuff that we do need. So first of all, I would say have a login. So let me actually open the design up, which is right here on the side. So I'll have a login which is going to contain which is going to contain this. So we are going to have that inside a div called login. And first of all, we will be having a div called login top, and we have an h1 saying log in width, and that's going to be one h1. And then we'll have a login card. I think we should have that as a div, so login cards, and I'll have a separate one for login cards because we are going to be having two login versions from Google and Facebook. So I have an image. The source is going to be assets / images / bitmap, which is going to be the Google image, and we'll simply say span and we'll say Google, and I'll copy this up and paste it. So I'll replace that with Facebook. We're going to be having that's okay. And for the login top right here, we'll have another span saying or, and that is going to contain that is it for all the top part that is inside of the login card. And now we could make a div called login fields, which is going to contain all the fields obviously. And then I'll have a div called login email, and then sorry guys, and then I will say login email and create an input with a type of text. And we don't need all this stuff, but we do need a placeholder saying enter email address, and this is going to be the login email, and this is going to be login password. It's going to be type password, and I'll say enter password. After that, I'll create a button saying login, and I'll give a class called login button. And right after the after this, so after everything, we need a span which says this. So inside of that we have a span of login sign up, and we have all of it ready to go, and we can link this to our style sheet. So in the style sheet, first of all, we are going to be having some global styling, margin 0 and padding 0, box sizing border box. We're going to be using a font called monster. So for the body, there is a specific color they have been using, so we will get that color from UI Design Daily. They don't have the accurate colors, but you could just use it. So I'll create some, no, I don't think we don't need variables because this is just a login form. So for the background, I'll give that hex code, so that is the background. And now we should target the login section, and I'll give a width of 400 pixels, and I'll say margin auto. I'll say display flex direction column, justify content center, and I will give a height of 100 VH, justify content center, and align items center. It should be aligning 100%, so it's going to look like this. And then we could give a background, of the color that they have. So I'll copy it and I'll paste, so it's going to look like that. What do justify content space evenly around, so margin 0 and auto. Okay, give a height of 600 pixels, of around 300 pixels, and should work. So we displayed it flex, and then we should flex the body, so that's how it should be working, I guess. So yeah, so without doing this we could also take some other ways, but that's fine. And for this login top, we will be giving first of all, should give a padding for this, padding of around 40 pixels and 0 on the left and right. And for the login top, I think that's what we gave here. For the login top, we'll say display flex, align item center, and flex direction column, and yeah, that's how we do need it for the start. And then for the login cards, we want to give mm, display flex, so it's going to flex itself like that. And also we'll give a line item center, which is going to align it. And also for the login card, we're going to display flex, and we'll say align items center, which is going to align itself. And then what we're going to be doing is I think we'll adjust the width a little bit, around 300. No, we will make it 350 because we will be getting all the fonts and stuff. So I'll go to fonts.google.com. so they have the font is called Montserrat, so a lot of people might have used it. Montserrat, select that, and I think we don't need all of the styles, so select all of them. And Montserrat has a lot of font families, so font styles. So we'll go to import and we'll copy all of this, paste it at the top, copy this and paste it in the body. So as you guys can see, all the fonts have changed. We need to tweak all the fonts, but for now work is to just style everything first. So I'll target the login card, and then the img, I'll give a margin right of 15 pixels, just like that. I'll give a padding of 10 pixels and 15 pixels on the left and right. There's a specific background color used, so I'll copy that and I'll paste the background just like that. The image, I want to give the width to 100%, just 50. Let's display this block or inline block. Let's say with 40 or even 30%, 20. I don't know why this is not working, but let's just open the developer tools and check what's the problem. So there's a padding, and okay, so let's make the width around 40 pixels. And that's right. And let's give a margin right to the card itself of 15 pixels. It's gonna space it around like that. Let's give it a color to be white, font size to be around 15 pixels. Yes, you could also make it fade off a little bit. I'm gonna adjust the padding because could give it 15 and make this around 13. Yeah, so right after that I'll give a border radius of around 3 pixels. That's great. And then for the login width, this is going to be the login top, and I'll give a class of login header. I'll copy this, paste it, and I'll give a color of white. I'm going to make this font relatively small around 15. Yeah, and the margin bottom of 20 pixels. I noticed that we should also change this to be Facebook, and right after that, now we want to style this, right? The or I don't think the spacing is good on this ones. So what we can do is get rid of this margin right, and I'll take that, I'll put that in, and I'll say last child, and I'll give a margin right, margin left of 15 pixels. Yes, that's working. So what essentially that does is it takes up the last child, which is this, and it gives it a margin left of over around 15. If it was right, then it would not align itself. Then we will target the or, which is going to be this. I'll say login or, copy that, go right down and paste that in. Margin of 20 pixels and 0, give that a color of white, then the font size of around 12 pixels. Great. And now let's target the login fields. So login fields is much more easier than what we were doing right now. Login fields, let's say display flex and flex direction column, just to get everything going. And for the login email, the login password, and all those kind of stuff, we need to give a display of flex. So I'll say login email, display flex, and give it a flex direction of column, and just like that we'll make one for the login password as well. And there you go. So everything's done as we wanted, but we want to make sure the width of it is 100%, and we do actually need some padding. Padding about, not from the top but from the sides, of around 20 pixels. Yeah, so for the login email and the label that is inside of it, we could give a margin of 10 pixels and 0 from the left and right. Now the same thing is going to go to login password as well. So I'll say login password and label, I'll do a margin of 10 pixels and 0. That's done for that. And for the input, I'll just copy and paste it, because that, it's easy, it makes just easy. So we'll give a padding on the top of around 15, and on the left and right about 10. That's, I would say, yeah. And for the top and bottom, could reduce it a little bit, increase it to 14, and that's, yeah, great. So I don't want a border, so I'll give a border none, and there is a specific background color that was used, so I will get that and put it in the background, put it as the background color. And also globally, usually for the imports, the font family does not, at the start itself it does not apply the fonts, so we want to put that separately. We could actually get the padding a little bit up and the font weight to bold. 400, maybe 700. That's a little bit too much. Font weight, I'll say 100. Let's just not touch the font weight. After that, we could increase the font size, because I'm spending more time in this, because this is what we're going to be using for the login password as well. So password, and that's done. Just for the login password, we want to give a margin bottom of 15 pixels. Then now we could style the login button. That's going to have almost the same padding of around 15 pixels and 10 pixels, and we don't need a border, but we do need a background, which we did not yet use. This is going to be a purple background, this one. Even for buttons, as I was saying, for inputs, should have done this before itself, but it does not auto correct all the fonts. That's usually what CSS is. So I should make the color white, and I'll increase the font size a little bit to around 15 pixels. That's great. And the border radius to 3 pixels, no, around 2. And then the last one is going to be the span. So login sign up, and that's going to be this should be right after the login, but it is inside of it. So what we can do is, we could put this outside, but that's not gonna work. It's gonna create a full mess. We could create a new div for all of this. Login content, and we could give all this kind of stuff. There's a problem with the login display flex, because it's flexing both of this, but we don't want that. For login display flex, and there's one display flex, and there's another inside the login content. So the login content finishes right there, and there's another div right here, a span. Okay, so what is happening is that it's applying a background to everything, I think. So if we cut that, so if we cut the column, okay, so it's being affected by something else. We want this to change to login content. Sorry guys, this is not much planned. So that's for login content, and for login, so for login I wanna say display flex direction column. Now this should be right below this. Just don't know why. So there's a width of okay, should put margin 0 and then auto. Maybe that would work, but if I say display none, okay, so the span is not inside of the div, so we just put it inside, and that's pretty much it. and yeah, display flex and flex direction column. But for the body we have put height 100 vh and the login content, so copy the justified content center, and also I'll put align items center with 100%, and just like that we have everything working. So I guess, just with the problems, I guess you guys could solve it. At least I know it's my fault, but okay, so could put a margin on the top and bottom, login sign up, so this is a span, and this is where it ends, and there's another span. Let me break this down. Span, there's one over there and there's one over here. There's one over here that does not finish. Okay, so this should be here, and now it will work. Get a margin right there, but I wanted to get a span inside of it. We just change the color to be white, and the dot login sign up sign up, and the span that's essentially inside it, we want to give the color that we used for the button. So if we save that up, this is how it's going to be looking like, and we could also make the font weight more lighter, just by giving around 400 pixels, and that's gonna do the job. And basically we should change all of the colors to be white. Just here, we're not yet done. Color to be white, and we could change this field right here into password, which are stuff that I do forget when I doing projects. But login card should have a width of 100%. I'll give a width of 100% here as well. Let's open up the developer tools. Login cards, let's get the login cards. So there's this login cards, and for the login cards we have basically given width 100%, but it's not working. The reason is, I think we have given it some padding. I could put the margin over here. Sorry guys, this is not planned at all. With 100%, maybe VH, and that's working. We could put inline flex with 100%. Okay, so could give a more padding on the left and right, and more padding on the top and bottom as well, instead of messing with the margins. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is it for the pretty much that I don't know, that's pretty much it. And we could give more padding, or just increase the width of the login content. Maybe you could basically tweak things up and see if they do fit around 3, no, 350. That does fit, and that's pretty much it, guys. I think it does look like how it's supposed to. So this one, and if you can see, and this, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. It was 30 minutes long, but I do appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.